Welcome to GenBlend, a podcast about bridging the generational gap within marketing, hosted by Infuze.
Hey guys, Stacey Devine with Infuze here. I'm sitting here with Allison Hurd. She's our senior graphic designer.
Hello.
We've been working together for 11 years. It's kind of like a marriage, actually. And we argue about a lot. But one of the things we are constantly in an argument about is colors.
Because we don't see color the same way.
And why is that?
Because your eyes are different than my eyes.
Imagine. So we could have this debate all day, but let's wrap that around into what graphic design really does for us how color is important to our brand and our brand standards. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, why does color matter when it comes to our brand?
Because color elicits emotion from people, and you don't want certain brands or your company, your name that maybe you want soothing color, soothing logo. Maybe you're a massage therapist. You probably don't want red representing you because red means, alert, go, stop. It means a whole bunch of negative things when you want a relaxing a relaxing tone. So it is extremely important when you're choosing to brand your company or yourself.
Yeah, well, so this is one place we agree, actually.
Yes.
Various colors. So like Allison says red, and she's kind of got these alert and these really strong emotions that are being made, right? Well, so then when I think about red, I think about, bright and like moving forward and excited and energy. So there's a different emotion that's coming for both of us, but red has its own meanings, just like all the colors within the spectrum that designers have to deal with. Mm-hmm. And another thing that we'll find is a client will say, the color doesn't really matter. We really love turquoise. And they just love turquoise. Turquoise might not have anything to do with their company or the messaging they're trying to convey, so that there could be a conflict. Colors really do matter when it comes to your brand. Mm-hmm. How does someone choose the right color for their brand?
You have to think about the emotion you want to elicit in your audience. Do you want your audience to look at your logo and I trust this immediately? Do you want them to look at your logo and be like, oh, they're very knowledgeable in their subject matter? You have to kind of decide what you want the audience to feel.
Right. When we're going down the branding path, don't we always talk about what are the emotions that you want the audience to feel when they see your specific brand?
Yes.
So we're not just talking about shape and size and texture. Mm-hmm. We're talking about color as well. It actually helps us define that.
Definitely.
And there's various standards for the colors, isn't there? For example, green. What does green usually represent?
Green is one of those relaxing colors, loyalty. We always get it for any sort of farmer, anything that wants to be more trusted.
Earthy.
Foods.
It means money.
Yeah.
Go.
Money. Go.
It's got a variety of things. And we get a ton of requests for blue. We
blue
get a lot
is
of people
everywhere.
saying
Oh my gosh.
they love blue.
But the fun thing about blue is there's so many shades of blue that can elicit different emotions. Mm-hmm. Like you have a dark navy blue, and like lawyers love dark navy blue, mm-hmm. Just like
bankers.
Forest green. Bankers, they love those like dark saturated colors. Mm-hmm. Whereas you can do like a bakery and do a fun minty green or like a light baby blue or something. Totally different emotions from both of those colors, but it's still the same hue.
Mm-hmm. We have a staffer who's so in love with yellow, and Allison's in a constant argument with her because she's not a big fan of yellow because yellow doesn't print well.
Okay, thank you. Yellow is a very pretty color, and I like it in other things. But when we talk about print and even a lot of web applications, certain shades of yellow don't show up well and they don't print well. And it's a nice pop color, but I wouldn't put text in yellow unless it was like a up against black. Mm-hmm. Then it's fine. Like a caution. That's cool.
And there's purposes.
Yes.
I mean, it's not just about emotions. There's purposes in the colors. I mean, think about every time you see an orange cone on the road, that means stay away from that, right? There's mm-hmm. usually a guy sitting in a manhole cover and you don't want to, drive over the top of his head. So you avoid that. Well, that same thing, that orange could be bright, happy. So color really, it has a depth of conversation that we couldn't cover in this podcast, honestly. Can people use more than one color in their brand?
Of course, definitely. But not too many colors.
See, so busy.
That's too busy. For me, I like to keep it at 2 colors, 2 to 3 colors. Mm-hmm. I think that's like the perfect zone. And then you can build that out to a really nice color palette for your website or your collateral items. You get more than that and you just get a variety of confusion.
Tell me what, I know, obviously, because I am who I am, but tell everybody else what a color palette means. When you say we can build that out into a color palette, what does that mean?
Say you have a new company comes along and they have two colors for their logo that's in their color. Well, when you're doing your website, you kind of want a few more colors to round it out. You want highlight colors, pops, of text or elements. You need a darker color for certain things just so things can be read correctly. Background colors, which are lighter. It always goes from dark to light, and you need a few of everything in there.
So how does that get decided then? Let's say we're talking about Infuze Green, which of course we joke about constantly because we have a partner company that has the exact same color, and they're always using a ton of colors. And we actually, we pretty much stay to our clean, precise look. But how do you decide on your palette that can go with that green?
For me, I work a lot in my programs. Sometimes I'll go on Pinterest and be like, oh yeah, those two colors do look really good together. But I play around with color harmonies a lot, the harmonies, and there's a lot of ways to build it out just in my specific programs that I do. I work with the color wheel, so that's how I build out all my color palettes. I finally
figured the color wheel out, which I think makes you crazy because now I can look at the color wheel and understand it a little bit better. So then I walk in here and I go, ooh, use, and she says, no. That doesn't go with that. That's what I get. So then I remind her who signs the paychecks, and we get along just fine. What's the difference between CMYK and Pantone?
Pantone is used by printers.
Don't they use CMYK too though?
They do for 4-color print.
Okay.
Pantone colors are specific inks that they use. And when a printer has a Pantone color, another printer can pick up the exact same Pantone color, and doesn't matter the printer. It'll be the exact same color. If you use CMYK, that has to be calibrated for different printers in order to come out the exact same.
Because we've seen that, and I think other people have seen that. Somebody could have a business card printed at an online print company, and then they go to a great local printer that's got really high-end machinery, and they get their letterhead and their envelopes printed, and you put that business card up against that letterhead and that envelope, and it's two totally different colors of green. Mm-hmm. And that is because of their process, right? Mm-hmm. Their ink process. So that one could be using a CMYK process, and the other could be using a digital printer.
Yes.
And the other one could be using a Pantone color. So we really push at Infuze that you use the same printer for every single thing that you're doing. It's a very specific reason, and it's so that you look consistent. People recognize you based on your brand, and your brand color is a really important component to your brand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it absolutely matters to me.
Okay.
Because I think it looks messy when you don't have the same colors across the board.
And then what does that tell people when they receive it?
You don't care. Somebody doesn't care. They're not paying attention to stuff like this, and I want to do business with a company that is paying attention to details like that.
So how does that translate? We're just talking about print right now, but how does that translate from your website to your cell phone to your email blasts? I mean, you got all this digital media out there now, and how do you keep the colors consistent between those two, or even can you?
Yes and no. You use our RGB colors across the board, and it's the same, or hex colors, web colors. However, you can tilt your screen a different way, and you will see a completely different color. I know dark blue turns black on some of my monitors that are not calibrated the same way.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
And then I can open it up on my phone, and it'll look green. So it's from screen to screen, it can change, and you can't control that.
In our Pantone books themselves, there's thousands of colors. Thousands. Every single shade, hue.
They're so pretty.
Brightness, lightness, darkness of every single color you can possibly imagine. But is there a base color or two or three or four that everything resonates from, like gray, or does everything resonate from black?
No.
Okay.
What? Wait, are you talking about the color wheel? Like just your primary colors, like red, yellow, and blue?
Isn't it like when we were kids?
Yeah.
There's like primary colors.
Those are your primary colors, and then you have your secondary colors when you combine the primary colors, and then you have your tertiary colors when you combine a secondary with a primary. I think that's right. Yeah?
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. That could be off. I didn't think that one all the way through.
So I think the moral to the story on this whole conversation within this podcast is that color really does matter.
Absolutely.
It really is important. You should put energy and time and attention into it for your brand, whether you're a small company or a huge company. I'll use AT&T as an example. One of the reasons AT&T's brand is so recognizable is because they are very, very, very strong in staying aligned with their color palette. Mm-hmm. You do not mess with that globe, and there's a reason for that. And it keeps it recognizable across all platforms, no matter whether it's digital or print. And with that being said, we'll talk soon.
Check out Infuze at infusemarketing.com. and our subsidiaries DesignFix, GoPrezo, Pix'n'Post, and Sammy Social. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.